Your Denver Broncos just flipped the script and they're starting the season off extremely hot. In this video, we're breaking down why I'm very confident that the Broncos have what it takes against the Tennessee Titans in the opener. We get another ringing endorsement of Bo Nix from a very credible source, and we get great news out of Las Vegas Raiders with their newest free agent acquisition. At the end of this video, I have the coolest life hack for anyone. It's a free life hack. It will improve your life immensely. Stay tuned for that. If you're new to the channel, I'm a diehard Denver Broncos fan named Ben. Helps me in the YouTube algorithm out a ton if you like the Broncos. If you would like and subscribe, I don't need to remind any of you. We are back to football, and it feels so good. That offseason absolutely flew by. And historically, a week one opener at home, like you just pencil that in for a win. You know that the softer the preseason gets, and the less they're actually playing full games, the harder it is to come to 5,280 feet above sea level and play a full game. But we know over the past couple years, that has not been the case. That we look at the Broncos, who were a very hot starting team for most of my fandom, like under Mike Shanahan, they've struggled recently. We've dropped 3 openers in a row. And Sean Payton has talked about time and time again how hard it is to crawl out of that. The fact that we made the playoffs last year with a rookie quarterback who didn't throw his first touchdown until week number 4, didn't even look good till week number 4. We started the season off 0-2. Making the playoffs at 0-2 is a monumental feat. And so I think the Broncos are flipping that script absolutely this season and starting off with a win. So great article here on Sports Illustrated about who are the players that need to hit early in order to make sure that we do indeed get off to that hot start. And it's starting off here with quarterback Bo Nix, all eyes on number 10. And a lot of folks have wondered, like, well, did we see the ceiling for him? And Sean Payton said, no, you haven't seen his ceiling yet, haven't come close to seeing his ceiling. And people wrote that off as saying, like, oh, Sean Payton, of course, he's got a prerogative to say that. But how about a guy who has no reason to say that, who has to go on and call games on ESPN on that Manning cast and look like he has egg on his face when he says good things about Bo Nix if he does not live up to the hype? We heard Drew Brees say he's going to live up to the hype. The Broncos got one of them ones. Well, Manning was asked specifically on the Denver Broncos website, hey, what do you think about a sophomore slump? And he said, I just don't see that being a factor for him. Rookie quarterbacks, it's hard your rookie year. Bo Nix got better as the season went on, which showed that the more NFL teams had time to process what Bo Nix did, they didn't get more successful game planning against him. He got stronger as the season went on. That is a sign that a sophomore slump is not incoming. If you start off the season crazy hot and then teams get a chance to scheme against you and then you struggle, then yeah, a sophomore slump could happen. But he said, I believe experience is the best teacher, and he got a lot of that, and I only see him getting better. So don't listen to Sean Payton if you don't want to, although I think you should because he's always right. Listen to Peyton Manning, listen to Drew Brees. Absolutely, I think Bo Nix is going to get off to a hot start. Now, one thing that is a little bit of a bummer is that the early forecast in the Mile High is for a rainy Sunday. There's nothing better than that 2 o'clock start time and just seeing the sun and the mountains and the sunset behind it. Maybe Broncos should have a dome. I don't know. But looks like we might have a rainy day. We'll keep you updated on the forecast. If that is the case, I expect to really see this Broncos run game get started. The other person mentioned in this article on Sports Illustrated as to like who we need to see really take steps and really start popping off, I think, is RJ Harvey. And I just loved the wrinkles that have come out about like what RJ Harvey can do. We know that he led college football last year and averaged 6.3 yards per carry, that he on 23% of his yards when he was handed the ball popped it for at least a 10-yard run. But one of the sneaky things about our RJ Harvey is his ability as a pass catcher. And so I love just thinking about what he can do as a pass catcher this year, and thinking that come Sunday, this is going to be our former linebacker Cody Barton trying to bring him down. It is going to be a long day for Cody Barton and this defense if RJ Harvey gets going like this. Absolutely. The other person that had said that we're going to need to see have a great year is Nick Bonitto. There's a lot of questions coming out in Denver about, like, are we going to still see a deal for Nick Bonitto? And I kind of think we still have a chance at seeing a deal for him, because if you look at other places across the NFL, most teams who have a guy in their last year of their contract have let them know, hey, we're going to pause contract talks right now. We'll pick them up again towards the end of the season, but we're going to let you play out on your current deal. So the great example of that is Trent McDuffie just heard from the Chiefs that they're not going to try to negotiate with him this year. So if he has a great year, they're going to end up paying him the absolute bag next year. The Broncos have not done that quite yet with Nick Bonitto, which means there's still time that this contract could get done. Last year, the Broncos did their contract negotiation with Pat Surtain on September 4th. So we still really have 3 or 4 days here that you could see a brand new contract coming out for Nick Bonitto. And I think if somehow we could get him under that $30 million, $35 million range, I think it would be a great deal for the Denver Broncos. Absolutely. So we are playing a rookie quarterback on the road against one of the best defenses in football. So Sean Payton in his press conference today was asked, like, hey, you don't have any pro tape on him. How do you go about prepping for a brand new guy you've never seen? And here's what he said.
We do all of it. So you have a limited exposure in the preseason with him.
So limited exposure in the preseason with Cam Ward. You're talking that his entire preseason, he attempted 19 different throws in the preseason and only completed 52% of those passes. But really, like I think all of the hype last year around Bo Nix, he balled out in the preseason and still really struggled in that game against the Seattle Seahawks. So rookies in their first game, especially on the road, especially against a great defense like the Broncos have, are really going to struggle. I expect to see that with Cam Ward. You saw him trying to do a lot of the same type of stuff he would do in college. This is him in the preseason against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you just see him really like flat-footed and nonchalant and really counting on his athleticism and ability to move the pocket, and you just cannot do that type of stuff in the NFL. And we even just see him back in college. This was when he was with the University of Miami, relying on his athleticism to buy himself some time and just yeet it into coverage. I think doing that against this Denver Broncos secondary is going to be hard, and then doing it against our pass rush is going to be absolutely even harder. And we just see, him make contested throws here that you just can't make in the NFL. That might be an open throw in college football, but we know that we got one of the best coverage linebackers in football. Last season, we talked about Dre Greenlaw, his last healthy season. Quarterbacks averaged 8 less completions than expected against a fill-in inside linebacker. So I think it's going to be a very, very difficult day with Cam Ward. I think he could still end up having a decent season, but starting the season against this Broncos defense is going to be an uphill battle. Another reason I think the Broncos are flipping the script on how we have looked early on in the season is this is a cool advanced analytic that came out that showed the total number of playoff teams each of our teams in our division are facing and what month of the year they face them. And you look at the month of September and October, we're playing 2 playoff teams in really an 8-week stretch there, which is a fantastic thing. And the Broncos have every reason to start the season hot, playing only 2 playoff teams. Our toughest month, obviously, being the month of November, where we face 3 playoff teams. But I love looking at our division, and even though the Raiders are on paper have an easier schedule than us when it comes to their win-loss record, they have to play one more playoff team than we do, and we know they do more flight miles than any other team in the NFL. And love seeing the Chiefs have to play 2 more playoff teams than us, so our schedule is extremely favorable to get off to a hot start and then keep it that way. We're hearing more unanimous praise come in about how great our defense is, even seeing former NFL players come out and say how much of a dream it would be to play on this Denver Broncos defense. And so as Nick Bonitto is contemplating, do I want to take a little bit of a hometown discount now and get locked in and play for this team that other pros are saying, I'd love to play there. That would be a dream. I just think this is running through the back of their minds. Absolutely. And then last kind of pieces of news that we got today was just hearing how Sean Payton does have a ton of respect for this Titans team, but also a ton of experience knowing that he's worked with Bill Callahan, who is the actual dad of one of the line coaches with the Tennessee Titans. So Sean Payton is the type of coach who game plans specifically for the weakness of whoever he is playing, and that is going to bode extremely well here. That we know that in the preseason, we just rolled out vanilla stuff to see how it worked. Now Sean Payton looks at the film and says, here's exactly how I'm going to exploit the weaknesses of this team. This is when Sean Payton's acumen as a head coach is really, really going to start paying off. We get some more great news out of the Raiders. So remember when their star wide receiver asked for a trade like a week before the season started, not a good look. And then the same day he announced the trade, they went out and got the last wide receiver who's a free agent on the market, Amari Cooper, and they lost their minds with a ton of excitement. But I'm not seeing like a ton of excitement as I take a look at this video here. And you see the headline on this video is, he's trending because he looks so out of shape. We saw a video earlier this season of Deebo Samuel looking out of shape, and he looks svelte compared to seeing Amari Cooper look like that. So I think that all is boding tremendously in our favor. And then the last thing that's just in our favor as to like why the Broncos are going to be good right now, but they're going to be good from now on as well, because you take a look here and they did the inflation adjusted numbers here when it comes to the richest ownership groups in football. And the Broncos are 3 times richer and more wealthier than the team who's in second place. And you look at some of these, it's like, how on earth can the Steelers even compete with us when you're talking we're 70 times more wealthy than them? It means creating brand new position groups, brand new head coaching opportunities, and brand new departments that don't even exist in other teams. So the Broncos are going to be good from now on. All right, life hack time. So my wife loves taking family photos. This year, I definitely felt like I owed it to her for all that we went through, but I was like, I just hate going out and getting my picture taken. And so she sweetened the pot here. So life hack, if your wife or your significant other is really into family photos and you're like, I don't want to do that, well, just say we got to get a Broncos picture in there. And so here it is, the family photos. We are locked in, ready for week 1. We all believe, like even my little sweet Kara right here absolutely believes. And it's going to be a fantastic year. I just feel like there's not been a time like this to be a Denver Broncos fan since at least we got Payton Manning, and maybe even there's more excitement now than there was then. Broncos country, we're back. Football this week, and we got so much to Bo-LIEVE in. I needed that.